What if I told you that three ordinary Roosevelt dimes, the 2000p, 2022p, and 2023p, have become some of the most talked about modern coins among collectors? Before you spend another dime, you need to see this. Today on Ari Coins News, we're uncovering the hidden history, genuine mint errors, mint state grades, collector secrets, and the facts behind the coins that have sparked so much interest. Stay with us until the very end, because one small detail could completely change the way you look at every Roosevelt dime in your pocket. Let's begin the hunt. Let's get started. What if one of the smallest coins in your pocket carried a story that stretched across decades of American history? Every day, millions of Roosevelt dimes pass from hand to hand without attracting attention, yet collectors know that each one reflects the craftsmanship, technology, and history of the United States Mint. Today we begin an in-depth journey into the 2022 P. Roosevelt dime, a modern coin struck at the historic Philadelphia Mint. While most examples entered circulation for everyday commerce, every collector understands that condition, authenticity, and genuine mint-made errors, not rumors, are what determine collectible interest. The Roosevelt dime series began in 1946 as a tribute to President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, whose leadership helped guide the United States through the Great Depression and much of World War II. Roosevelt also became closely associated with the fight against polio through the March of Dimes campaign. After his death in 1945, the United States Mint honored his legacy by replacing the Mercury dime with a new design bearing his portrait. More than 75 years later, the 2022 P. Roosevelt dime continues that tradition, linking modern Americans with one of the nation's most recognizable circulating coin series. The P mint mark on the 2022 dime identifies it as having been struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the first federal mint established by the United States. Modern Philadelphia dimes display this mint mark below the date on the obverse. The coin is composed of a pure copper core bonded between outer layers of copper nickel, giving it its familiar silver-colored appearance. It weighs 2.268 grams, measures 17.91 millimeters in diameter, and features a reeded edge. These technical specifications have remained consistent across modern Roosevelt dimes, making the series easy to identify while preserving continuity in American coinage. The obverse design presents a left-facing portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, surrounded by the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 2022. The reverse features a torch at the center, representing liberty, with an olive branch for peace and an oak branch symbolizing strength and independence. Around the edge appear United States of America, EPLUBUSUNUM, and one dime. Although simple in appearance, every design element reflects values that have been part of American coinage for generations. Many collectors begin their search for valuable coins by examining the change they receive every day, and the 2022 P. Roosevelt dime is no exception. Although millions of these dimes were produced for circulation, experienced numismatists know that the true excitement lies in finding an example with exceptional preservation or a genuine mint-made error. A coin that has never entered circulation often retains its original mint luster, crisp details, and attractive eye appeal. These characteristics are important because collectors place a premium on quality. A brilliant, sharply struck coin with virtually no wear is far more desirable than one that has spent years passing through cash registers, vending machines, and pockets across America. Understanding the grading process is essential for anyone interested in modern U.S. coins. Professional grading services evaluate a coin's condition using the Sheldon scale, which ranges from poor 1 to mint state 70. Circulated coins generally show varying levels of wear, while mint state examples display no wear from circulation. Within the mint state category, higher grades are awarded to coins with stronger luster, cleaner surfaces, fewer contact marks, and superior overall eye appeal. For modern Roosevelt dimes, collectors carefully examine Roosevelt's hair details, the sharpness of the lettering, the torch on the reverse, and the quality of the coin's original finish. Even small differences in preservation can influence collector demand. One of the most frequently discussed topics in modern coin collecting is the possibility of mint errors. A genuine mint error occurs during the manufacturing process at the United States Mint and is different from damage that happens after a coin enters circulation. Verified error types seen on modern Roosevelt dimes can include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, die cracks, die chips, and occasional struck-through errors. These errors are created during production and are collectible because they document unusual events that occurred while the coin was being made. Their desirability depends on the severity of the error, the overall appearance of the coin, and confirmation that the feature is truly mint-made rather than post-mint damage. Collectors should be cautious when viewing videos or online listings that claim every unusual mark is a valuable error. Scratches, dents, flattened rims, corrosion, heat damage, or machine damage after the coin leaves the mint are not considered mint errors. Many ordinary coins are advertised with unrealistic price tags despite having no recognized collectible variety. Successful collectors rely on careful examination, comparison with known examples, and when necessary, opinions from experienced dealers or professional grading services. Knowledge and patience remain the most valuable tools in the hobby, helping collectors separate genuine discoveries from common misconceptions. Another reason the 2022 P. Roosevelt dime attracts attention is its role within the long-running Roosevelt dime series. Collectors building date and mint collections seek one example from every year and mint, making each issue an important piece of the complete set. Others focus on obtaining the highest quality examples available, searching for coins with brilliant original surfaces and exceptional strikes. This pursuit encourages careful storage and preservation, since a coin that remains free from fingerprints, scratches, and environmental damage has a better chance of retaining its collector appeal for many years. The journey of a 2022 P. Roosevelt dime begins as a plain metal blank before it ever resembles a coin. Each blank passes through multiple stages of preparation, including cleaning, upsetting the rim, and finally striking under tremendous pressure between engraved dies. In a fraction of a second, the detailed portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt and the familiar reverse design are impressed into the metal. After inspection, the coins are counted, packaged, and distributed through the Federal Reserve System before entering circulation across the United States. This remarkable manufacturing process allows millions of nearly identical coins to be produced efficiently while maintaining strict quality standards. Every collector develops a different strategy, and that is what makes the hobby so exciting. Some collectors search through thousands of circulated dimes from banks, hoping to discover a sharply preserved 2022 P example that escaped years of wear. Others purchase unopened Federal Reserve rolls, believing that untouched coins have a better chance of displaying strong mint luster and clean surfaces. While major discoveries are uncommon, the excitement comes from knowing that every coin examined adds experience and teaches the collector how to recognize quality, strike characteristics, and genuine mint-made varieties. For many enthusiasts, the hunt itself is just as rewarding as the coins they eventually add to their collections. A close inspection of the 2022 P. Roosevelt dime reveals details that are often overlooked by the general public. Franklin D. Roosevelt's portrait was designed to balance realism with simplicity, allowing the design to strike consistently even during high-speed production. The lettering around the portrait is carefully positioned to maximize readability, while the reverse torch, olive branch, and oak branch create a symbolic representation of liberty, peace, and national strength. Under magnification, collectors study the sharpness of these features because they often reveal how well the coin was struck. Strong detail does not necessarily indicate rarity, but it does increase the coin's visual appeal and can make high-grade examples more desirable. Proper storage plays an important role in preserving modern coins. Even a freshly minted 2022 P. Roosevelt dime can lose its original appearance if it is handled carelessly or stored in unsuitable materials. Collectors generally recommend touching coins only by the edges, avoiding fingerprints on the surfaces, and placing better examples in inert plastic holders, archival quality flips, or hard capsules. Exposure to moisture, chemicals, or abrasive cleaning can permanently change the coin's surface and reduce its appeal. Maintaining original mint surfaces is one of the simplest ways to preserve a coin's long-term collectible potential. As the Roosevelt dime series continues into the 21st century, each new issue becomes another chapter in one of America's longest-running circulating coin programs. Although the 2022 P-Dime was created primarily for commerce, it also reflects the precision and efficiency of modern minting technology. Advances in die preparation, quality control, and production equipment help the United States Mint produce millions of consistent coins every year. Even so, small production differences can occur, and these variations are one reason collectors continue examining modern coins with such enthusiasm. Every authenticated mint era tells a story about the manufacturing process and reminds us that perfection is difficult to achieve even with advanced technology. For new collectors, the most valuable lesson is that patience always outperforms speculation. Instead of believing every social media post claiming that an ordinary dime is worth thousands of dollars, experienced numismatists rely on careful observation, trusted references, and professional authentication when necessary. Building knowledge over time allows collectors to recognize genuine opportunities while avoiding exaggerated claims. The 2022 P. Roosevelt dime may appear ordinary at first glance, but understanding its history, design, production, and place within the Roosevelt series transforms it into far more than a simple 10-cent coin. It becomes a small but meaningful piece of American numismatic history, appreciated not for sensational stories, but for its authentic connection to the nation's continuing coinage tradition. There is an old saying among experienced coin collectors: the coin tells its own story if you know how to read it. That idea perfectly describes the 2022 P. Roosevelt dime. At first glance, it may seem like just another modern coin, but under proper lighting and careful magnification, every surface begins to reveal clues about its journey from the Philadelphia Mint to circulation. Tiny contact marks, brilliant mint luster, crisp lettering, and sharp design elements all provide evidence of how well the coin was produced and preserved. To a trained collector, these details are far more important than rumors or exaggerated online claims because they represent the true quality of the coin. One feature that deserves careful attention is the reeded edge. The Roosevelt dime has fine grooves around its edge that are created during the striking process by the retaining collar. These reeds are more than decorative. They help protect the design from wear and have been a traditional security feature on American silver-colored coinage for generations. Collectors inspect the edge for complete, even reeds because unusual characteristics may indicate a genuine striking error or, more commonly, post-mint damage. An edge that has been flattened, filed, or damaged after leaving the mint is not considered a collectible error, making careful examination extremely important. Another fascinating aspect of the 2022 P. Roosevelt dime is the engineering behind its production. Before the dies ever strike a blank planchet, they are manufactured with incredible precision using advanced engraving and finishing techniques. Every working die is expected to produce thousands of nearly identical coins while maintaining clear details and proper alignment. As production continues, natural wear may begin to appear on the dies. Small die cracks or die chips can occasionally develop, leaving raised lines or bumps on the finished coin. These features are considered genuine die varieties because they originate during the minting process, offering collectors a glimpse into the life cycle of the dies themselves. Collectors often compare multiple examples of the same date and mint mark to identify the strongest strikes. Two 2022 P. Roosevelt dimes may have been produced on the same day, yet one can display noticeably sharper details than the other due to normal variations in striking pressure, die condition, or planchet quality. This is one reason advanced collectors frequently examine entire rolls of coins instead of keeping the first example they find. Selecting the coin with the brightest luster, cleanest surfaces, and sharpest design is part of the challenge and enjoyment of building a high-quality collection. Modern numismatics is built on careful observation rather than assumptions. Every unusual mark, missing detail, or design difference should be studied methodically before being labeled a mint error. Reliable references, comparison with authenticated examples, and professional grading services remain the most trusted resources for confirming whether a coin truly represents a collectible variety. This disciplined, approach protects collectors from misinformation while helping preserve confidence in the hobby. For the 2022 P. Roosevelt dime, genuine quality comes from its authentic history, precise craftsmanship, and documented production characteristics, not from exaggerated stories that cannot be supported by evidence. Coin number 2. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a single dime, and wondering whether that tiny coin has a story worth telling. Most people see only 10 cents, but collectors see history, craftsmanship, and the possibility of discovering something extraordinary. Today's journey takes us deep into the world of the 2000 P. Roosevelt dime, a coin struck at the historic Philadelphia Mint during the first year of a new millennium. Although millions entered circulation, every coin carries the legacy of American minting, and a select few attract collector attention because of outstanding preservation or genuine mint-made errors. The Roosevelt dime has represented American resilience since 1946, when it replaced the Mercury dime to honor President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Roosevelt's leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, along with his support of the March of Dimes campaign to fight polio, made him one of the most respected figures in modern American history. His portrait has appeared on the dime for decades, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in circulation. By the year 2000, the Roosevelt dime had already become an essential part of everyday commerce and one of the most collected modern U.S. coin series. The 2000 P. Roosevelt dime was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the small P mint mark beneath the date on the obverse. The coin is made from a pure copper core bonded between outer layers of copper nickel, giving it its familiar silver-colored appearance. It weighs 2.268 grams, measures 17.91 millimeters in diameter, and features a reeded edge. These specifications have remained consistent across modern Roosevelt dimes, allowing collectors to compare coins from different years while focusing on condition, strike quality, and genuine production varieties. On the front of the coin, Franklin D. Roosevelt faces left, surrounded by the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 2000. Below the date appears the P mint mark, confirming the coin was struck in Philadelphia. The reverse displays a torch representing liberty, an olive branch symbolizing peace, and an oak branch standing for strength and independence. Around the rim are the inscriptions United States of America, EPLUBUSUNUM, and one dime. Although the design appears simple, every element reflects values that have been part of American coinage for generations. For most Americans, the 2000 P. Roosevelt dime was simply another circulating coin used for everyday purchases. For collectors, however, the year 2000 marked the beginning of a new millennium, giving this issue historical significance beyond its face value. Many hobbyists saved examples from circulation as keepsakes, while others searched bank rolls, hoping to find sharply struck coins with brilliant mint luster. Even today, collectors continue examining these dimes because high-quality examples are more desirable than heavily worn pieces. One of the most important lessons in coin collecting is understanding the difference between a common coin and a genuinely collectible one. Most circulated 2000 P. Roosevelt dimes remain worth their face value. Coins in exceptional mint state condition, especially those certified by respected grading services, may attract stronger collector interest. In addition, authentic mint errors, such as off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, struck-through errors, or significant die cracks, can be collectible when they are verified as having occurred during the minting process. Damage caused after the coin entered circulation, such as scratches, dents, or heat damage, is not considered a mint error and usually does not increase value. Professional grading is one of the most important factors in determining collector appeal. Independent grading services evaluate a coin using the Sheldon scale, ranging from poor 1 to mint state 70. Collectors carefully examine the sharpness of Roosevelt's hair, the clarity of the lettering, the details of the torch and branches, the brilliance of the original mint luster, and the number of contact marks on the surfaces. A higher-grade coin generally attracts more collector interest than a heavily circulated example, because condition plays a major role in modern U.S. coin collecting. Searching for a collectible 2000p Roosevelt dime requires patience rather than luck. Experienced collectors often inspect rolls from banks under bright lighting and magnification, comparing multiple coins before choosing the best example. They understand that strong eye appeal, original surfaces, and crisp details are more important than sensational online claims promising instant riches. Knowledge, careful observation, and realistic expectations remain the true foundation of successful coin collecting. As the first year of the new millennium unfolded, the United States Mint continued its mission of producing billions of circulating coins for everyday commerce. Among them was the 2000p Roosevelt dime, a coin that quietly entered cash registers, vending machines, banks, and households across America. While most people spent these dimes without a second thought, collectors recognized that every year's production becomes a permanent part of American numismatic history. A coin minted in 2000 not only represents 10 cents, but also captures a moment in time when the nation stepped into a new century filled with technological innovation and economic optimism. Every 2000p Roosevelt dime began its life as a plain metal blank known as a planchet. Before receiving its design, each planchet passed through a series of quality control steps to ensure it met the Mint's strict standards for size, weight, and composition. The blank then entered a high-speed coin press where enormous pressure forced the obverse and reverse dies into the metal in a fraction of a second. This powerful strike created every detail collectors admire today, from Roosevelt's portrait to the torch, olive branch, oak branch, and finely reeded edge. It is an impressive manufacturing process that combines precision engineering with remarkable speed. Not every coin leaves the mint in exactly the same condition. Normal differences in striking pressure, die wear, and planchet quality can create small variations from one coin to another. Some 2000p dimes display especially sharp details and brilliant mint luster, while others appear slightly softer because of ordinary production differences. These variations are considered normal and should not automatically be mistaken for mint errors. Experienced collectors understand that identifying a genuine error requires careful study and comparison with verified examples rather than relying on appearance alone. Among the documented types of mint errors that can occur on Roosevelt dimes are off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, struck-through errors, die cracks, and die chips. An off-center strike occurs when the planchet is not perfectly aligned during striking, causing part of the design to be missing. A clipped planchet results from an incomplete blank before striking, leaving a curved or straight section absent from the finished coin. Broad strikes occur when the retaining collar fails to contain the metal, allowing the coin to spread beyond its normal diameter. Die cracks and die chips develop as working dies wear during production, leaving raised lines or bumps on the finished coin. These are recognized mint-made features, but not every example is rare or highly valuable. Desirability depends on the severity of the error, the condition of the coin, and collector demand. One of the greatest challenges facing modern collectors is separating genuine mint errors from ordinary post-mint damage. Coins that have been scraped across pavement, exposed to heat, struck by machinery, or altered after leaving circulation often display unusual marks that can look dramatic. However, those forms of damage are not collectible mint errors. Professional authentication and careful comparison with recognized references help collectors avoid costly mistakes. This disciplined approach has become one of the defining characteristics of successful numismatics, where evidence always carries more weight than speculation. The excitement of collecting the 2000p Roosevelt dime comes from the search itself. Some hobbyists build complete Roosevelt dime date and mint collections, while others pursue the finest certified mint state examples or authentic mint era coins. Each collecting goal offers its own challenge, encouraging patience, observation, and continuous learning. Although the vast majority of 2000p dimes remain ordinary circulation coins, every careful examination deepens a collector's understanding of American coinage, and strengthens the appreciation for the craftsmanship that goes into even the smallest denomination produced by the United States Mint. Close your eyes for a moment and picture a newly struck 2000p Roosevelt dime leaving the coining press at the Philadelphia Mint. Its surfaces shine with fresh mint luster, its design is sharply impressed, and every letter is crisp and clear. Within hours, that same coin begins a journey through banks, businesses, and millions of American hands. Some examples quickly develop scratches and wear through everyday use, while a fortunate few remain untouched in mint sets, coin rolls, or private collections. Those well-preserved pieces are the ones that often attract the greatest interest from collectors because original condition is one of the most important factors in modern coin collecting. For serious collectors, preserving a coin is just as important as finding it. The original mint surface, often called mint luster, forms naturally during the striking process. Once a coin is cleaned, polished, or rubbed with abrasive materials, that original surface can be permanently altered. This is why experienced numismatists strongly recommend never cleaning collectible coins. Instead, they handle them only by the edges and store better examples in archival quality holders or hard plastic capsules that protect against fingerprints, dust, moisture, and accidental damage. A properly stored coin can maintain its appearance for decades. Magnification has become an essential tool for examining modern Roosevelt dimes. Under quality loupe or digital microscope, collectors inspect the fine details of Roosevelt's hair, the sharpness of the inscriptions, the torch flames, and the tiny grooves along the reeded edge. They also look for raised die cracks, die chips, or evidence of legitimate struck-through errors. Careful examination often reveals fascinating details that are invisible to the naked eye, helping collectors distinguish ordinary circulation marks from features created during the minting process. This careful observation is one of the skills that separates experienced collectors from beginners. Another interesting aspect of the 2000p Roosevelt dime is its place within the larger Roosevelt dime collection. Since the series began in 1946, collectors have worked to assemble complete sets representing every year and every mint. Adding a high-quality 2000p example helps complete that historical timeline, linking the final years of the 20th century with the beginning of the 21st. For many hobbyists, collecting is not simply about financial value. It is about preserving history one coin at a time and appreciating the remarkable consistency of American coinage over generations. Modern coin collecting continues to grow because it combines history, art, engineering, and education into a single hobby. Every Roosevelt dime offers an opportunity to learn about American history, the minting process, and the importance of careful research. The 2000p Roosevelt dime reminds us that genuine discoveries are made through patience, knowledge, and close observation, not through exaggerated internet rumors. Whether you are searching bank rolls, organizing a coin album, or studying certified examples, each coin you examine builds experience and deepens your understanding of the fascinating world of United States numismatics. Coin number 3, what if the next coin you receive in change isn't just another dime, but the beginning of an incredible collecting journey? Every day, millions of Americans spend Roosevelt dimes without giving them a second thought. Yet collectors understand that every coin tells a story, and the 2023p Roosevelt dime is no exception. Produced during a new era of modern U.S. coinage, this dime combines history, precision engineering, and the excitement of searching for genuine mint errors. While most examples are ordinary circulation coins, outstanding mint state pieces and authentic mint-made errors continue to attract collector interest. That's why this small 10-cent coin deserves a closer look than most people ever give it. The Roosevelt dime series first appeared in 1946 to honor President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, replacing the Mercury dime only months after Roosevelt's death. His leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, along with his strong connection to the March of Dimes campaign, made him the natural choice for America's 10-cent coin. More than 75 years later, The same design continues to circulate across the United States, reminding Americans of Roosevelt's legacy while serving as one of the nation's most recognized coins. Your 2023 P. Roosevelt dime was struck at the historic Philadelphia Mint, identified by the small P mint mark beneath the date. It is composed of a pure copper core bonded between outer layers of copper nickel, weighs 2.268 grams, measures 17.91 millimeters in diameter, and features a reeded edge. The obverse displays Roosevelt's portrait with the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and 2023. The reverse features the familiar torch, olive branch, and oak branch, surrounded by United States of America, EPLUBUSUNUM, and one dime. This design has remained one of the most recognizable in American coinage for generations. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 1.3 billion 2023 P. Roosevelt dimes for circulation, making this issue common in everyday change rather than a low mintage rarity. Because of the large production, most circulated examples are worth only their face value. Coins that attract higher collector interest are those preserved in exceptional mint state condition, especially examples with strong strike quality and full bands, FB, on the torch, or coins that display genuine mint-made errors. One of the biggest myths in modern coin collecting is that every unusual-looking dime is automatically valuable. In reality, experienced collectors separate mint errors from post-mint damage. Verified mint errors that can occur on Roosevelt dimes include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, struck-through errors, and die cracks or die chips created during production. There is currently no widely recognized major date-specific error variety unique to the 2023 P. Roosevelt dime. Collectors continue to watch for new discoveries, but unusual claims should always be authenticated before being accepted. When discussing value, condition matters more than age. Most circulated 2023 P dimes remain worth face value, while attractive uncirculated pieces may sell for a modest premium. Exceptional certified mint state examples can bring higher prices, and top-graded coins or significant authenticated mint errors may command much stronger premiums in the collector market. For example, a PCGS-certified MS-70 2023 P. Roosevelt dime has recorded auction sales far above face value, although such perfect coins are uncommon. The deeper collectors study the 2023 P. Roosevelt dime, the more they realize that true value is built on quality rather than quantity. Because more than 1.3 billion examples were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, this is not a low mintage issue. Instead, collectors compete for coins with exceptional eye appeal, flawless surfaces, and sharp strikes. The most desirable business strike examples often receive the full bands, FB designation, awarded only when the horizontal bands on the torch are fully separated and free of significant marks. These well-struck coins are much scarcer than ordinary examples and can command substantially higher prices than similar coins without the FB designation. One of the first things experienced collectors examine is the coin's original mint luster. Freshly struck Roosevelt dimes display a bright cartwheel effect that moves across the surface when the coin is tilted under light. This natural luster is created during the striking process and cannot be restored once it has been damaged by circulation or cleaning. That is why professional graders pay close attention to the quality of the original surfaces. Even a small fingerprint or improper cleaning can reduce a coin's collector appeal, making preservation one of the most important parts of modern coin collecting. The grading process is another factor that separates ordinary coins from premium collectibles. Independent grading companies evaluate every detail of a coin using the Sheldon scale from MS-60 to MS-70. A mint state 60 coin may have noticeable contact marks but no circulation wear, while a mint state 70 coin represents a virtually perfect example with no visible imperfections under standard grading conditions. Perfect modern coins are difficult to obtain because even newly minted coins often receive tiny marks while being transporting in large bags from the mint. For this reason, certified MS-69 and MS-70 examples attract far more attention than typical uncirculated coins. Collectors also search for genuine production errors that occurred during the minting process. Documented error types for Roosevelt dimes include off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, struck-through errors, die cracks, and die chips. Each of these results from a different stage of production rather than from damage after the coin leaves the mint. However, there is no widely recognized major date-specific error variety unique to the 2023 P. Roosevelt dime. If someone claims to own a dramatic new variety, the coin should be authenticated before any conclusions are drawn. Another important lesson for new collectors is learning the difference between an error and damage. Coins that have been scratched, squeezed in machinery, exposed to heat, or altered after leaving the mint may look unusual, but they are generally not considered collectible mint errors. Experienced numismatists compare unusual coins with authenticated examples, consult reliable references, and when appropriate, submit exceptional pieces to professional grading services. This careful approach protects collectors from misinformation and helps preserve confidence in the hobby. Although most 2023 P. Roosevelt dimes found in circulation are worth only face value, attractive uncirculated examples usually bring only a modest premium. Truly exceptional certified examples with outstanding grades or the full band's designation are much scarcer and can sell for considerably more, while significant authenticated mint errors are valued individually based on the type and severity of the error. That is why successful collectors focus on quality, authenticity, and condition instead of believing every online claim that an ordinary dime is worth thousands of dollars. Imagine sitting at your desk with a roll of freshly opened 2023 P. Roosevelt dimes, a bright LED lamp, a 10x magnifying loupe, and a notebook beside you. This is how many experienced collectors begin a roll hunting session. Instead of rushing through hundreds of coins, they inspect each dime one at a time, studying Roosevelt's portrait, the lettering, the mint mark, the torch, and the reeded edge. Most coins will be ordinary, but every careful examination improves the collector's ability to recognize exceptional strike quality or a genuine mint-made error. In numismatics, patience is often more valuable than luck. One of the most respected characteristics in modern Roosevelt dime collecting is the full band's FB designation. The two horizontal bands wrapped around the center of the torch must appear fully separated and sharply defined for a coin to qualify. This designation reflects an especially strong strike rather than a different variety. Because many coins show slight weakness in this area, collectors are willing to pay more for examples displaying complete band separation. A 2023 P. Roosevelt dime with excellent surfaces, strong luster, and full bands is significantly more desirable than an average uncirculated example of the same date. As collectors gain experience, they learn that every mark on a coin has a story. Tiny contact marks usually occur when newly struck coins bump against one another in large storage containers at the mint. Fine hairlines may result from improper handling, while natural tunning develops slowly over time because of environmental exposure. None of these features automatically make a coin rare or valuable. Instead, collectors evaluate the overall combination of strike quality, eye appeal, luster, and preservation before deciding whether a coin deserves a place in a high-quality collection. Modern technology has changed coin collecting in remarkable ways. High-resolution digital microscopes allow collectors to inspect details that earlier generations could never easily see. Online databases, grading service photographs, and educational resources make it easier to compare coins with authenticated examples. Even so, technology cannot replace experience. Successful collectors rely on careful observation, trusted references, and professional authentication when they encounter something unusual. This balanced approach helps prevent costly mistakes and keeps the hobby focused on evidence rather than speculation. The 2023 P. Roosevelt dime represents more than a simple 10-cent piece. It is part of a coin series that has connected generations of Americans since 1946, honoring Franklin Delano Roosevelt while continuing to serve in everyday commerce. Whether discovered in pocket change, saved from a bankroll, or purchased as a certified mint state example, each coin contributes to the continuing history of one of America's most recognizable denominations. For collectors, The real reward is not chasing unrealistic promises of instant wealth, but developing the knowledge to recognize genuine quality, authentic mint-made errors, and truly exceptional examples when they appear. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to my channel.